Welcome, Divine. Welcome. Yes, after doing the DM chooses awakening and the DF gets it, and that breakdown of what the internal makings are happening with the twins looking from the oracle cards, I said, well, you know what? If the twins are twinning like they are, then I know they are affecting the karmic status of the planet, the karmic status in communities, the karmic status in families, and the karmic status in relationships. So, in union. So, I knew that it would be a good time to look in. But looking in from the perspective of knowing what you're doing. You know, it's not a fear of the karmic, and it's really sometimes hard to do a karmic reading because when you start to mention the title karmic, and I'm thinking, karmic rewards come, both ways. But not only that, karmic is really that one route. It's that one route. Those karmic cycles are just one route. And it's like I can't see the other route. So I'm stuck in one route that keeps bringing me that heartache and loss that the divine feminine and the divine masculine said no more to. They're like, we're not suffering and we're not going through that heartache and loss anymore. So that is really what the divine feminine and divine masculine, the twins, are really working towards. Well, if we look at that and we say, well, if they are no longer doing the karmic cycles that cause them the suffering and the heartache and the pain, then the suffering and silence and the heartache and pain, then what happens? Because karmic cycles have participants. And what can show up as a participant in that karmic cycle and be considered what would be karmic could be third party situations of family members, organizations, having a karmic person in the union or relationship. It could be we're in a world where there are blended families is a big mix. So people are dealing with I'm getting mama, daddy, baby mama. That's it. Baby mama, baby daddy is what's coming through. Baby mama, baby daddy is what's coming through. So the co-parenting situation is happening big. So all of this can create karmic cycles that go shoo, shoo, shoo. And it's really just tapping and plugging that stuff that brings about that heartache and loss, which is that pain. So it's like, I can put you in a cycle to bring you pain. I can put you in a cycle to bring you pain. And the divine feminine and the divine masculine are saying that they are no longer willing to participate in the karmic cycles of heartache and loss and that suffering in silence. They're like, forget this. I'm walking in my truth. It is what it is. I'm facing stuff, releasing stuff. I'm not with it. So then what happens? What happens to all the participants that were in the karmic cycle? What is the outcome? What is the outcome? Because there is still alignment on the earth, and especially when we think of something along the terms of baby mama, baby daddy, it's like you're really connected to these people. If there's shared property, you're connected to the people that made up the karmic cycle that you were participating in. And or even just attached to through your complement, your counterpart complement. And you probably noticed that I say compliment more and more now than I say counterpart. I like counterpart. I'm not one to exclude any words because what we're doing is building a language. And even if some words seem like they've been confused in the past, having the language out there, we're clearing it up more and more. So you'll hear a clearing up more and more. And you know that I channel from 8D consciousness, which is really all about this system of things. And the twins and the restructuring and the rebuilding that we're having here. So it's why I'm able to get that big picture of what's happening. I'll speak more of that in detail in Divine Manifest that I am channeling through, that you'll see on the channel that I come through regularly from here on out. But we talk more about those spiritual things, spiritual awareness, just really that knowing of what's happening, you know, what you're a part of. Hey, you are to be aware. You are to be aware. You are the divine. You're the divine feminine. You're the divine masculine. Then you are to be aware of what's happening. So, interesting enough, we'll just go right on into it, because those associations with the people who are choosing the karmic cycle, and that's really what me and karmic is. It's like family members are choosing the karmic cycle. This is the way they want to live. You're sitting back and you're like, hey, I don't know why you continue to cause yourself that pain. It's easy to see that. See, the divine feminine and divine masculine are seeing that they've caused themselves pain in many areas, and they're eradicating all of that stuff. I'm getting all the way down to the root and the tooted. They are pulling it up from the root. And they're like, we are not doing these cycles of heartache and pain no more. That suffer's out of here. But those who are stuck in those karmic cycles and they live that karmic life, they're stuck in those karmic cycles, what I said, and they are choosing the life of heartache and loss. And you can join in with them, almost like joining in the jump rope, and it's just like heartache and loss, heartache and loss. And that's something that the divine feminine and divine masculine recognized when they came together, which is, shoot, we are repeating those karmic cycles that we had going on with everyone else, with our family systems, with our past situation, and even those who were in relationships. It's like we're coming together and repeating those karmic cycles, but we're supposed to be coming together to shed light on them so we can heal them, so we can amazing. So we are back on. So who knows what that interruption was about, but I know what it was about for me. It was about me getting my bracelet, you know, and I like it. So I thought about it, and I had that time to go. And that's how you transform something, you know, almost like the Mentos commercial is a really good commercial that symbolized transformation of dark to light. Really how the divine live. So we're looking into what are the karmic outcomes. What are the karmic outcomes? So what is it that they're dealing with right now and having to understand as a karmic collective who are choosing the karmic cycles at this point in time? And we know when we're stuck in those karmic cycles, you know, yes, it's a choice to be in it, but it's not a choice that you're like, you know, hey, I'm really consciously, you know, they're just really stuck there, stuck in those karmic cycles in a way. And they believe that their choice, you know, even though it's a choice that's being made, understand that they believe that their choices are right in how they're conducting business, how they're conducting family, how they're conducting relationship, how they're conducting life. With the motion of the divine feminine and the divine masculine going on right now, it sends karmic into solitude. That is the first thing that I see here. Solitude, because there's not much interaction with both. It's almost like the DF ain't giving me any jazz and the DM ain't giving me any jazz. Nothing happening here. The twins are not fooling with me. And what's happening is that I'm also seeing the reflection back. So before, any type of karmic motion could cause a projection off on the twins and really activate those pain centers for the twins. And I'm getting that that's not the case anymore. That anything that the karmic attempts with the twins is reflected back to the karmic. And you can see just really just reading in, but it's more so taking in the knowledge of self. So really not having anywhere to put this stuff out, but really getting it all back, really having to own up to self is what the karmic world is dealing with right now, having to own up to self, because the twins aren't accepting the projection. The twins aren't taking the pain anymore. And you got to understand, those in karmic cycles who are stuck and becoming that karmic way are really living in a life of pain, because it's painful to be in those karmic cycles. You guys saw it. It's heartache and it's loss. It's like continually doing stuff that bring about a negative way of life for yourself. So they're in that pain, but they were able to project and shift that pain off before by getting like really just, sharing the pain. And some of you would say, making other people miserable, but there's a completion on that with that 9, that we move to the point of solitude. So that karmic influence is no longer affecting the twins, so it is being sent right back for the karmic. And this is, I'm getting organizational, family structure, those third party situations. It is all being sent right back for them to reflect on. They're having to eat their own words, take in their own words, take in their own plots, take in their own plans, take in their own manipulation, and really sit with that, because it is all coming up and out back to them, all of it. So a lot of truths are sitting in there. We go in another motion that is happening within the karmic world that is being dealt with is recognition and reward. Wow. So this is amazing coming up, because this is that recognition and reward. So this is really just bending down for it and really seeking recognition and reward is what I'm getting here. What we've had going on within the karmic world is that it's like, look, I have manipulated to make sure that all of this stuff can happen, or I really want this to happen. I'm even getting a notion of a mother, really karmic mother energy, which is, hey, I have really set out, prayed, fought, manipulated, wanted this way to be. So they're wanting recognition and reward for what they've invested in, even though it's the wrong way, even though it wasn't right, even though it didn't help anyone. I'm also getting that this is also showing up within third party relationships, where there's a karmic route in a relationship that's leading to heartache and pain, that's interfering with people moving forward in a blissful and peaceful union with the divine. A lot of them are like, okay, I put in time, so I want recognition and reward for that. I put in money, so I want recognition and reward for that. So those who are in those karmic cycles, karmics are starting to recognize there is no recognition and reward. The lesson is the recognition and reward. You don't get your reward from the person. So it's almost like where you invest your time, energy, love, and your money, that it's not for you to get it right back from that exact person. And stuck in those karmic cycles, they really believe that, I've been cheated, if I don't get back some type of recognition and reward for everything that I've invested. So really, that the karmic world is being dealt with on that, which is, look, though you've been at this job all of this time, it's not about just sticking it out for that recognition and reward if you're unhappy. Though you've been in this relationship for this long time, it's not about sticking to it and getting to the point of marriage or getting to the point of a certain amount of years if it is bringing you to heartache and loss and suffering. they're really being challenged with, dang, I'm looking for recognition and reward and things that don't even bring me any type of fulfillment. So the karmic is really having to deal with that. And that's coming from that motion of really having to be in that solitude and getting their stuff back. Because before, the actions have just been hitting the divine feminine, divine masculine, divine feminine, divine masculine. But now it's hitting within the karmic structure because it can't, I'm getting Ra, the goat of the divine anymore, not the twins. Then here we go, coming in universe, and this is beautiful coming in because it's almost like, and I mean that face is just like, hey, So it's really showing what boss is, and the divine have understood the connection and the workings of the universe, being in control, and are moving to the point of surrendering to that. And when I say that, it's like, yes, manifestation beings, of course the divine are. Yes, having power, of course the divine are, but you don't go against the universal nature and power of the system. You work with the universal nature and power in the system. That is what the divine have recognized. Well, this is what the karmic world is starting to see, which is like, I can't buck this. I can't buck the universe. So even though I want control, and even though I have a plan set in place, and even though I want this to happen, I really can't buck the universe. That is why when it comes to those motions of having to worry about people doing things to you or not doing things to you, when you stand in your divine nature and your light being, that darkness cannot withstand you remaining in that power, and it can't buck the universe. So when you're aligning to the entire system of the universe in your light being status, something that someone did right over there in Long Island in their house is not gonna buck the universe that you are aligned to. That's why your alignment is your greatest power. Your light is your greatest power. It automatically eradicates the darkness. That is your protection by being in your divine nature. So what the karmics are starting to recognize is they can't touch that. Like, I can't touch this. It's like, dang, when they align with the universal power and they're getting all of this, symptoms and notifications and spiritual awarenesses about stuff, that I have no power in any of this. So recognizing that I'm getting surrender by default because I can't do anything here. Let's go in. Wow. And that goes right in. And is this not the perfect illustration? Mental conflict. Look at that. And you see the one side of the head open, and then even self inside of that. So it's the head of self, one route, one path, and then really in there trying to control and manage everything, so really inside of their own head. This is a literal depiction of inside your own head with one route. And that is really what the karmic cycle is about, which is really just being stuck on one perspective, one route, even though it leads to pain. And you can see that there's pain even inside of there, trapped in the own head. And it's just like, there's got to be another route here. But being stuck in that karmic cycle says, no, there isn't another route. This is the way this has to happen. Well, that's that mental conflict that the karmic world is starting to deal with, because once they recognize, wow, the twins aren't taking the projection anymore, they're not taking the bait, they're not taking the pain anymore, and then it's like, wow, and I'm not going to be able to get any type of recognition and reward for all that I invested in this, and dang, even every effort that I'm trying to do has no weight whenever they're aligned to the universe. I cannot touch these people because they align to the divine, and that's boss. So it's almost like then it's just like, wow. So I really have to release this mental conflict in understanding there has to be another way, and that I am stuck in my own head because none of this stuff works anymore that used to work. So there has to be another way. And I'm getting just really working through that mental conflict of different perspectives. And it's interesting that this card is 2, and understanding that there is a second perspective on anything and whatever. And the divine are taking that second perspective. They're taking that lighter perspective. They're taking that light route of peace, happiness, harmony. You know, they want that. And those who are stuck in the karmic cycle, they're still wanting a lot of that heartache and loss. They're living those pain cycles. And those who align with it, they're also wanting them in the pain cycle with them. So, and the divine are saying no to that. And with the divine saying no to that, it boomeranged right into a karmic reading of what has to happen with the karmic, which this shows those readings back where it said it's the fall. It's the fall of, you know, that whole 3D world, and this is what that looks like, because it's almost like what I'm getting is if there's no one to play and toy with, then there's no game. And the divine feminine, divine masculine are learning to align with their divine nature, and they're realizing that that trumps all of this karmic stuff, and it's causing the karmic world to really examine that mental conflict of there only being one perspective, one way, and that they don't have the power that they thought that they had, because they don't have power over the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And recognizing they don't have power over the divine feminine and the divine masculine has shifted them into recognizing, wow, so I've been saying and wanting and desiring things to always be this way, but clearly this can't be the only way that's out there. So that's amazing. And the overall awareness. So the karmic world is getting the overall awareness that the DF and the DM aren't tripping. They aren't tripping. That the DF and the DM are not tripping is what I'm getting, that the karmic world is getting. So you will recognize that there are family members who will begin to respect you. Family members who are going to honor you. You're also going to recognize that in those situations where there's relationships where somebody is affecting the relationship, where you're having that karmic energy affecting the relationship, that those people are going to, I'm getting, really just leave you alone. I'm getting there's going to be an honor there. So it's almost like I can't touch this is what I'm recognizing in the motion. So many of the things that you've dealt with is not going to be an issue anymore, because the honor that the twins are given to themselves is also being seen by the karmic world. So it's almost like that whole little thing of, okay, I can't pick with them, I got to go pick with somebody else, somebody a little bit more weaker. Somebody a little bit more weaker. So what you're recognizing is that people who were kind of bonded in those karmic relationships, and they felt that they couldn't get out of the karmic relationship, the karmic is now determining that they want out of the relationship, because really they want that one perspective that they have. They're wanting to stay within that motion of being bonded in the wounding or that heartache and pain, or they want that control, or they want that manipulation. To them, that is what the relationship is. So if the twins are no longer participating in that motion anymore, then that there's no attraction for the karmic. It's like, well, there's no game here, you know? So it's like, I can't be dominant here. So I'm feeling weaker here. I don't feel powerful here, because the games or the things of that, or having that control, I'm even getting with organizations, that is what made me feel powerful. So what they do is that I'm getting, they'll go somewhere else with it. You know, it's looking for someone else who hasn't gotten to that awakened state of the twins, who are walking in their true selves and their true power. And you know, it's really a sad motion to hear, but I'm getting go pick on someone else. That is truly what I'm getting that they're doing. So you'll recognize that many of those who were in those karmic cycle relationships, that those who were contributing, that were stuck in the karmic way of continuing the relationship, are choosing the motion to go find someone that they can repeat karmic relationship cycles with. And they're like, okay, you're too strong, too powerful, too aware, too awakened. So they're actually leaving the DMs and the DFs before, when the DMs and DFs were struggling to kind of, get those relationships to transform and change, or even get out of those relationships. They couldn't work on them, they couldn't heal them, and they couldn't get out of them. Well, now the karmics are like, bye, you know, I really want you the other way. I want you the other way, when there could be the manipulation and the control and the games. I'm even getting, and also the dismissals when it comes to, careers and friendships and family. You know, a lot of those family members that were heavily dependent on, are now like, no, you know, they're distancing themselves, because it was fun when they could manipulate and get their way, but it's different wanting to be around you when they don't have that control aspect. So they're kind of falling away. They're aware that you've changed, the divine have changed. So that awareness has led them to see, okay, they chose the other path. I don't have any power here with them. They've aligned, boss there. Everything comes back to me. I'm not going to get any recognition and reward here. So I am going off to see if I can actually concoct the same karmic cycle over with somebody else. Whether it be a new family member, whether it be a new relationship, whether it be another employee, whether it be another friendship. They are really looking for somebody to repeat the karmic cycle with them, and releasing those contracts with the divine, because they want to get back to living the way that they're accustomed to living. And you know, and I know that's kind of a hard thing to say, but you know, you get to choose whenever you awaken. You know, some say people choose before they come. Then some say, well, it doesn't matter whether they choose before they come or not. They choose whenever they awaken here on the planet, and none of us knows the divine timing of each people. It's just like, because you didn't even know your own divine timing. It was a surprise to you. But in this motion, those in the karmic world are choosing to go on and repeat their karmic cycle, and they're recognizing that with the divine, with you guys, they can't repeat that karmic cycle. So you're seeing a lot of those that you would have deemed karmic in family relations or organizational structures carry on. They're carrying on. They're just carrying on with new people that they can carry out that control and manipulation and dominance, and feel that that false sense of power and that false sense of love and acceptance. And that's okay. They get to have that choice. Everyone was allowed their karmic cycles until they decided that they didn't want them anymore. So that's what's happening right now in the karmic world, which is really good, because this is a direct reflection of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, who have stated that they will no longer participate in karmic cycles, and therefore the karmic world has determined that, okay, I see that. I see you honoring yourself, so I see that you are someone who's untouchable, and I can't bring you back into the karmic cycle of hurt and pain with me, so I'm going to go interact with someone else. So be okay with the distancing that begins to happen. Be okay with the breakaway of those who are choosing karmic cycles, and be okay that, you know, there might be shifting in family, friends, relationships, and even co-parenting and things of that sort, because there will be a distance created because there's an inability to play the same tennis game. So it's like if they're wanting to play the same tennis game, they got to get somebody to play that game with. So a lot of those distances that you will begin to see from the karmic world is simply about them gaining someone else to repeat the karmic cycles with them, and allowing you to take on your path of that peace, harmony, love, and fulfillment that you've been desiring to have. So this is beautiful. So there's going to be a move out of the way for many people that have had to deal with karmic situations, and there will be some unexpected move out of the way of really close relationships and friendships that you may not have recognized. But understand, it's all still love. It's allowing people to do their thing, be on their own divine timing, choose their routes. We have truth and awareness here, and it's okay. It's okay. So it looks like everybody is aware. Everybody is aware. Despite what choices and routes anyone takes, everybody's aware. Again, if you want to meet with me, you can contact me through the description, and I can support you that way. I am beginning to start to do Instagram. I've played with it on and off just to see, can I be someone who is posting something on a regular basis? It's not gonna be just stuff like this, because I do think it's important for you guys for us to celebrate our multifaceted, multi-dimensional nature. So it might be some personal things on there. Who knows? It might be some just random things that I'm into, things of that sort. Like I probably would have shared that moon that I received. That's a moon, not a crystal ball, but really cool moon. Or talked about that, or just a thought that I might randomly have, or things of that sort. More on a personal nature, still with my privacy, of course, I keep that, but still being open enough to share some things with you guys that I don't even mind. And that might be a cool place to do that. So that's Divine Feminine USA. There's a story with that name, Divine Feminine USA. And I might even put a little tag under it of Golden Mission 144 maybe, so you guys can actually see, if I can do that, that it is the homepage of that for a little bit. But it is, of course, Divine Feminine USA. And I'm going to really try to be mindful of that throughout this time period, to really just put some little nuggets up there. And if nothing else, I'll share a quote or a meme that I see that really just jazzes me for a second. So, yeah, but no rhyme or reason, and nothing that makes sense or not make sense, but just really just go with the flow of it. So we'll see. So remember, the golden mission is union within self, then union with others. And if there's any support that you need, of course, click the description for any of my downloads, courses, my book, or to meet with me one-on-one, or to have a read, however you'd like to do it. Take care of you.